What's going on, y'all? Hope everybody's doing good. We'll give you a few minutes. Let your folks get in here. We'll get on started. Hope everybody's had a good day. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube. But yeah, I thought I would give y'all some updates and tell y'all what's been going on around here. So we ain't had a whole lot going on. Uh, see some people rolling in. But appreciate y'all for watching. But yeah, we're still messing around with the chickens. We got a new batch of chickens uh, around about June. And so they're doing good. We got them on grass. Hey, Chrissy, how you doing? We got them on grass. Sorry, y'all. I'll take this little cardboard here. Got them on grass, and the other hens they're laying eggs. Thank Lord. And so yeah, we've just been doing good. We've been hanging out and reading the Bible. But I ain't been doing a whole lot. But it's sure been hot here. It's been hot. We'll let a couple people get on in and we'll tell y'all what's been going on. So we're just browsing these comments. Yeah, we appreciate it. Oops, sorry guys. We appreciate it. No, we're still gonna mess with the chickens here. I just won't be filming a lot of them. We're gonna do a little pivot. We all got to pivot from time to time. The days ain't the same where you could do the same job for 40 years and retire. You got to bounce around and uh, make some different moves. But I'm always, I guess we're going to go ahead and skip things. We're going to move to more outdoor camping stuff. I've always been into outdoors, hunting and fishing. Uh, this ain't really nothing new per se. However, I just decided to kind of turn the camera in this direction and let y'all see. That's funny, Scotty. Let y'all see this portion of my life. As some of y'all know, I'm like Brother Dale calls me an onion. But I got so many layers that a lot of y'all don't know about. But this is one of them. I love being in the outdoors. As I said, hunting and fishing growing up. I was in the Boy Scouts. It feels like eternity ago. But, I achieved my Eagle Scout rank in 2008. So I've spent, literally my whole life camping and doing that sort of thing. I was blessed to have, obviously, my parents and those other scout leaders, around me that figured out how I could do particular things. And this is kind of what my channel has always been about. The way long line think is if I'm into it, then by again the numbers, there's probably some this other disabled person that wants to do the same thing I do, yet don't know where to get started. Unfortunately, if you want to do anything more than sit in a wheelchair and sit on the bed, and you are disabled, you'll have to put a lot of mind, work, and effort in figuring out how to do it. You know, nobody dreamed about the chickens and what's coming next for Homestead. I highly doubt anybody thought we'd be doing this either. But by the grace of God and my parents and those folks around me, we always get it done one way or another. So hopefully, what's coming up for this channel will be a blessing to somebody, an inspiration to somebody, uh, and get them outside, in one capacity or another. I'm just in my front yard, one in the homestead space. Been doing that a hot minute now. For somebody somewhere, it was a YouTuber said, you gotta make your home your classroom. And that's what we're doing with the homestead, and that's what we're doing here with the camping. I got a little outdoor classroom that we've made, again, with the help of my parents and those around me. Uh, and I've been practicing old skills that I learned years ago, and that's where we've been the last couple of weeks, and why I've been absent from YouTube. I also started another thing, Instagram. I know a lot of folks like Instagram, so if y'all want some like behind the scenes stuff you ain't gonna see on YouTube, uh, y'all can go check out Instagram. Uh, Homestead 1776. So y'all go check us out there. But yeah, and I'll be posting, like I said, some things I've been doing the last couple of weeks, and y'all might find that interesting. But yeah, it is quite nice to be outside. It's especially around here, the middle of the week, it is quite peaceful. Now during the holidays, people be on the lake and it get quite loud out here. But during the weekday, and ain't nothing happening. So it is quite peaceful out here. Unfortunately, because we homestead, if you're quiet enough out here, the deer just start walking by, and that's quite atrocious, really. Quite atrocious. But anyway, as y'all can see here, well, I don't really know if y'all can see or not, but I'm sitting in a hammock here that I got for my birthday. And yeah, I do enjoy sitting out here and under the shade and just hanging out. It's quite fun. One of my things is, I believe we always need to sharpen our mind, keep our mind sharp and fresh. One day our body will give out, but as long as we keep something up top there, we'll always be good to go. So let's see what's going on in the chat room real quick. I ain't really want to ignore nobody. Like I said, appreciate everybody coming in. Coming in and out. Y'all hit that like button. I do appreciate it. But yeah, I have been slightly under the weather the last couple weeks, but you gotta keep pushing. You can't let your body just, give in. Yeah, I enjoy being outside. Appreciate. Glad y'all like to see it. Uh, but yeah, it is nice. Now it's not so nice when there ain't no breeze. But anyway, like I was saying, you got to keep your body moving, and there's really no better way to do that than be outside. You know, it's easy and or quite easy to get sedentary in the house. You know, I've been waiting, matter of fact, for some thunderstorms to test out these shelters we put up here, and I've yet to get one, and it's been about a month. Uh, quite frankly, we're starting to need the rain. You know, I mentioned we got baby chicks on the grass, and you know, we moved the little tractor a couple of feet every day because it's a little, just got little toilets in it right now. We don't need to move the whole tractor length. Uh, but anyway, we needed the rain to put the manure in the ground, so to speak, and refresh that grass. We move it that way it don't completely die out, but it sure helps it when it rains. The Lord's got the best watering can you could ever have. So I think some of the things we're going to work on, or at least I'm going to showcase, you know, I got some knots and things I need to tie. So I guess we'll start teaching that, and if things go over well, we'll just progress from there. I got some cushion ideas, uh, rolling around, kicking around in the back of my head. So we might put those on the roster. Uh, a lot of this is just camping. However, Homestead, in my humble opinion, is inherently survival, sustainability, living off the land. You know, I'm not too concerned with fantasy scenarios that just ain't gonna happen. I got actual real life problems. And that's the thing about it. We all have our own real life SHTF situation uh, all the time. You know, might not be a catastrophic breakdown of the country, society, or whatever, but yeah, it might not be a complete breakdown of society or whatever, but it's an incident bad enough that it's a breakdown in your world. And really, that's all that matters. Look, we might live like on the same planet. We all live on the same planet, but I promise you, we live in different worlds. And if your world collapses, are you ready to deal with it? You know, so that's stuff we're gonna look at as well. And as I said, this ain't nothing new for me. You know, I just decided to turn the spotlight in this direction. You know, give me something else to teach, because that's the whole genesis of this channel. I guess we'll talk about that a little bit. Uh, my channel's not really despite what people might like it to be. In my mind, it's not really to showcase my life. It's to teach and educate those who want to do similar things that I do, but just don't have a jumping off point. Because it's hard for some people to imagine X, Y, Z. You know, I got a mind where I can imagine things. And if I can see it in my mind, then I can execute it. But if I can't see it, I can't execute it. You know, our minds all work different ways. But anyway, like I said, we're here to teach, and I almost run out of things to teach. Uh, with the chickens, with the hens. So, you know, we got to pivot. And, you know, it's been a hot minute due to illness and just life. I've done any sort of camping, any sort of hunt. And so this year, you know, due to YouTube policies, we ain't gonna do no hunting on the channel, but we definitely gonna do some camping, you know, not in the backyard. Uh, yeah, that's possible. Let me tell y'all something, guys. Camping in the 90s was a whole lot harder than camping in 2026. All right, dude? I mean, I got a jackery right here. You know what we would have done for a jackery back in 98? Yeah. I'll tell you what we did do. I'll just tell you. We used to take Daddy's truck, that F-150, I believe. And y'all car guys will know, but, you know, I'm just not a car guy. But anyway, we'll take that truck and we'll pull it up to the campsite, pop the hood, and get jumper cables to the hard battery. Or straight up bring another power battery with us. Most of the time, now that I'm thinking about it, we carry a power battery with us to run my ventilator, my other machines. And yeah, that's just not convenient. And we had to rig and wire. And so in 2026, camping and outdoors, you know, with limited mobility or whatever, is definitely on the table. So we're going to go that direction. And Lord willing, hopefully it'll bless somebody with something. But y'all, it is hot out here. It was a breeze and it was nice, but it was hot. Y'all gonna have to get in and get some water. And while I'm recuperating from now on heat stroke, uh, y'all knew we couldn't get on the line without cracking open the Bible. So if y'all got a Bible handy, thanks, Mom. If y'all got a Bible handy, y'all go ahead and turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Yeah, exactly, Brother Josh. It is 90 degrees. It's toasty out here. And like I said, when the wind was blowing, it was fine, but now that it ain't blowing, it's set. So, yeah, it's not Sunday, but you know, some people do their worship on Saturday, and there have been people contacting me say they wanted to get back to the lives. So I figured, well, why not? I had a little bit of spare time on this one. Might as well crack open the word, you know. I would rather, you know, somebody other than hearing there's something that's true. Well, I would rather somebody read a little bit of the word than none of the word every day. But as I said, we're gonna look at don't worry, it ain't gonna be long. I ain't got no notes or nothing. So 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We're gonna go ahead and start at verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. So first and foremost, when we read 1 Corinthians 13 here, we know it's about love. Charity, if you didn't know, you can replace the word charity with the word love, and it'll read just the same. We are not going to go through all the points of charity today, but we're just going to talk briefly about love. And as it says, even though you martyred yourself, because that's where it says burned, even though you martyred yourself, if you was just mean and rude and uncaring and unloving, it don't really matter. What matters as Christians is not the line of doctrine. It don't matter whether you is a science following believer or you're not, but it matters that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, and it matters that you're decent to other human beings. Even if you disagree with them, it's a charity suffereth long. That means you just gotta go through. That's what turns the other cheek means. It means we just go through. If somebody literally is striking you, I mean, we got a right to defend ourselves. The little arguments are unnecessary. Just, alright, it is what it is. It's, alright. Yeah, that's what it means when charity suffers long. Like I said, I just want to remind everybody, even though we're willing to go the long mile to Jesus, it don't matter if you ain't a nice person. It don't matter how much charity, how much giving back to the community you do. If you turn around in the darkness and you're just a bad person, you might as well not done nothing. God says God don't want you lukewarm. He wants you either hot or cold. He can work with that. But you in the middle, can't nobody work with nobody in the middle. Yeah, I was just looking down, make sure there weren't nothing else I wanted to hit on there. I tried, talk about love for just a second. If there's any prayer requests, go ahead and put them in the chat here. We got about another 5 or so minutes. Got some other things we're gonna do, but yeah, go ahead and put your prayer requests in the chat. I don't pray on camera, but yeah, I definitely get to those. Somebody gotta pray when ain't nobody looking. But yeah, so we'll definitely get to those. Don't need no details if you don't want to put no details, because God knows everything. He don't need me to tell him what's up. But what he does need is people to pray for each other. That's what we need to do. exactly. Well, it's not a faith, it's a sin. You know, I said, if you mean or whatever, that's kind of not good. That's a sin in itself, really. But like I said, we ain't gonna get all preachy this afternoon. It's too hot for that anyway. But I do pray everybody's doing good. Like I said, somebody gotta pray for y'all when everybody's laying in the bed like they ought to be. But you know, God says go in your closet, and sometimes my closet's in the wee hours of the morning, but they definitely do get prayed over. I just happened to glance down there and look at verse 12 here, and it talks about seeing God face to face. Uh, and one day we'll get to see Him face to face. But right now we get to be with Him by reading the Word and praying. That's intimate time with the Lord, if you will. But anyway, guys, it's getting a little late. It's getting a little warm here. That's how it is in the South. The later it is, the hotter it gets out in the summer. But just wanted to let y'all know we're gonna be back sooner or later. If y'all want any of the Homestead merchandise, Tennessee Homestead Ministry, y'all go ahead and go check out the website, TunsteadHomestead.com. Once those shirts are gone, they're gone. Ain't gonna be no more of them. Cause like I said, we're gonna move in another direction. So if y'all want one of those, go ahead and grab them up. And as always, God bless. Love y'all. Have a great day.